Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're tackling something huge. It's a philosophy called plurality. And it's all about this idea, what if we could actually rewire technology to work for democracy instead of, against it? Right now, it really feels like technology and democracy are just at war with each other, right? Democracy can feel so slow, so stuck in the past. Meanwhile, tech is just rocketing ahead, and it doesn't always seem to care about the social fallout. This creates this huge divide, a widening gulf, as the source material puts it. And this conflict, it's basically pushing us off a cliff. There's this idea of a narrow corridor where free societies can actually thrive, and we're being squeezed out of it. We're getting shoved towards one of two really bad places. On one side, you've got the antisocial tech, the stuff that just makes everyone angry, polarized, and creates total chaos. And on the other side, centralizing tech. Think mass surveillance, stuff that sucks up all the power into one place and starts to look a lot like authoritarian control. So how on earth did we get here? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is just follow the money. I mean, think about it. Decades ago, it was public investment, government money, that gave us the building blocks of the internet. But wow, has that changed? Now, private sector R&D spending has just completely swamped public funding. And when that happens, innovation gets pointed towards one thing: profit. Not always, the public good. Okay, so is this just inevitable? Is this conflict to start fate? The thinkers behind plurality say, no way. This isn't some kind of technological destiny that was forced on us. It's a path we chose by where we put our money and the policies we made. And the cool thing is, if we chose our way into this mess, that means we can choose our way out. And that's where this big idea comes in: plurality. It's pitched as a third option, right? A totally different path. It's a way to build a bridge across that huge gulf we were talking about, the one between tech and democracy. Okay, so what is plurality really? Well, at its heart, it's about designing technology specifically for collaboration, for working together across our differences. So instead of making tools that feed on division or concentrate power, the whole point is to build things that help all kinds of different groups find ways to cooperate. And this is key, especially when they don't agree. Now, to really get this, you kind of have to change how you look at society. The old way of thinking, which the source calls monist atomism, fancy term, I know, it basically sees us in one of two ways. We're either a bunch of disconnected individuals, like atoms floating around, or we're one giant blob, a single collective. Plurality says, nope, that's not it at all. The reality is we're all part of so many different overlapping groups, right? Our family, our job, the online forums we love. And the most important stuff doesn't happen with lone individuals. It happens in the connections, the relationships between all those groups. And you're gonna love this. The spirit of this whole idea is captured perfectly in Star Trek. Seriously. It's the Vulcan philosophy: infinite diversity in infinite combinations. It's this beautiful idea that our differences aren't a bug. They're a feature. They aren't a problem we need to solve. They're literally the engine for creativity and progress. And plurality is all about building tech that intentionally goes looking for that union of the unlike. Okay, I know this might all still sound a little bit like science fiction, but the source material is very clear. This isn't just theory. It's already happening. And for the best example, we have to look at Taiwan. So check this out. According to pretty much every global ranking, Taiwan is the #1 democracy in all of Asia. But here's the kicker. They did it while also becoming one of the most tech-savvy, digitally connected societies on the planet. And that just completely blows up the whole idea that more tech automatically means less democracy. So how did they pull that off? Well, it's a fascinating story. In Taiwan, democracy and the internet basically showed up at the exact same time. The source calls them Siamese twins. They literally grew up together, hand in hand, each one making the other stronger. You had democratization starting in the late 80s, right as the internet was taking root. And you can see that connection get supercharged in moments like the 2014 Sunflower Movement, where people used digital tools to organize in a massive way. That energy eventually led to them creating a whole ministry of digital affairs. And this partnership has created some seriously cool tools for digital democracy. You've got GovZero, which is this amazing community of civic hackers who just build useful stuff for the public. Then there's VTaiwan, a platform where citizens can actually weigh in on national policy. And they use this incredible tool called Polis that's engineered to find where people agree instead of just highlighting the divisions. And probably the most famous example, during the pandemic, a mix of citizens and the government built a live mask map so everyone knew exactly where to find masks. And the results of this whole collaborative, trust-first approach, they're just stunning. Get this. In the entire first year of the pandemic, before there were any vaccines, Taiwan had a total of 12. Just 12 deaths from COVID. And they did it without the kind of brutal society-wide lockdowns that shut down so many other countries. So Taiwan's success isn't just a one-off feel-good story. The source holds it up as a blueprint. It's proof that it's possible to build a totally different kind of digital world with a whole new infrastructure built from the ground up on these ideas of plurality. So this vision of a plural future is built on what you could call 4 main pillars. Think of them like new fundamental rules for the internet. First is identity. We need better, more secure, more flexible ways to manage who we are online. Second, association. We need tools to create all kinds of different online groups and communities and keep them safe. Third, commerce and trust. We need new ways of doing business that are actually based on collaboration. And fourth, and this one is huge, voting. We need systems that don't just ask yes or no, but can actually capture the nuance of what we all really care about. Let's zoom in on that last one, voting, because it's wild. The source talks about this really cool idea called quadratic voting. Okay, so normally it's one person, one vote. Simple. But with quadratic voting, everyone gets a budget of voice credits, and you can use those credits to vote. If you don't care that much, you spend 1 credit for 1 vote. But if you care a lot about something, you can cast more votes on it, but each extra vote costs you way more credits. It forces you to really show how much you care, to put your credits where your passion is. It reveals the intensity of what people want, not just a simple head count. And this really gets to the core spirit of this whole movement. It's not about sitting back and waiting for some big tech company or the government to fix things for us. No, the source has this powerful call to action, and I love this. Ask not, why is nobody doing this? You are the nobody. It's saying the power to build this kind of future isn't in some far-off place. It's with us. It's with you. So when you boil it all down, technology isn't like the weather. It's not just some force of nature that happens to us. It's a set of tools. It's a reflection of the choices we make. And right now, it's forging our connections, for better or for worse. We can stick with the tech that drives us apart, or the tech that puts us under control. Or we can do what plurality suggests. We can choose, consciously, to build technology that helps us work together, that turns all our different perspectives into our biggest asset. The choice really is ours. So the question is, what kind of world are we going to build?